All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. This is the woman issue question part two. Part two. Where's my finger at? Part two. I want to kind of go a little bit further in detail with the statement that was made on the channel with regards to a woman who is not married, not being a woman technically, but being a female. And from the Hebrew standpoint. So sometimes we've been indoctrinated with Western thinking, right? Western mindset and mentality. And the Western mindset has negatively impacted the Hebrew community because a lot of our women have been indoctrinated with that haughty spirit. That haughty spirit. Now, let me just say this here before somebody gets upset and offended and leave the channel and all of that. I'm not against anybody that want to leave the channel. I'm not trying to force anybody or say anything that's going to cause you to want to leave. But if you disagree with what I'm saying and you choose to leave the channel or to unsubscribe from the channel, then that's your prerogative to do so. I don't have people bondage, and I'm not a person that I'm going to attack people because I don't have people bondage. But basically, unless you can prove me wrong on something I'm saying, I'm going to stick with what I know that's true. And it won't be no love lost between me or anybody that disagrees with me. Anybody that knows me down through the years know that if we disagree, that's fine. You don't have to see it my way. That doesn't mean we have to become enemies. We don't have to be friends, associate anymore, right? I have people that we've disagreed on a subject ever since I've been in this walk, but we're still the best of friends. So I say that to say this, that don't allow one issue, right, that you disagree with me cause you to become my enemy or me to become your enemy, okay? Now back to what I was saying, right? There's a spirit of haughtiness, right, on our women, the daughters of Israel, right? And I want to read something out of the book of Isaiah. This is what the Most High said, right? This is not Kazak talking. This is what the Most High said, okay? So let's go to Isaiah real quick. Okay, prayerfully you can see this. I have a little glare from the sun. Sunlight is good because it's cold, but this sunlight is doing me justice today, but it's doing me injustice because I got the camera. But anyway, this is Isaiah chapter 3. And let's see, got a little glare. Let me see if I can there we go. It says, as for my people, children are their oppressors, right? And women rule over them, right? O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err and to destroy the ways of the paths, right? So now, that's what this Western world thinking has done to our families, right? It has caused our families to become controlled by oppressors and women ruling, and a lot of men taking the back seat and not allowing themselves to be in position, and women being in the position to not want to hear or to listen to their covered, the one that's sent to protect them, right? And for this cause, that's why you have a lot of women who are single today, because they don't want to submit to their head. And I'm not talking about those that maybe have had husbands that maybe have mistreated them and they've left from that husband because of that or abuse. That's totally different. But I'm talking about a woman that just doesn't want to submit to her husband, but everybody else's words have weight but their husband, right? That's what I'm talking about with the daughters of Israel. Okay, now let's go back to Isaiah, see what he's saying about that. So he says that as for my people, children are their oppressors and women rule over them, right? Children are oppressing. So the children don't have any respect for the elders, the fathers, and even the mothers. That's why when a woman gets angry and upset with the husband for correcting the child, that's prophecy being fulfilled, right? And you're only hurting your household when you get upset with your husband for correcting your house. You're in prophecy, you don't even know it. He says, children are the oppressors. The children dictate to the parents what they want to do, what they want to eat, what time they go to bed, where they go, what phone they got. They don't want an Android phone. They want an iPhone, right? They want to have a job, but they don't want to do no dishes. They don't want to cook. They don't want to clean, but they want to eat. They want to sleep and do everything they want to do. That's what the prophet said would happen. Let's go back in now. Children are the oppressors. Women rule over them, right? So the women are ruling over them. Who are they ruling over, right? Well, they're not ruling over the children because the children are oppressing them. So who are they ruling over? At least one other person left. That means that's that man that's supposed to be the head who's taking the back seat, right? Let's go back. All right. He says, O my people, they which led thee caused thee to err and destroy the way of the paths. So they which lead thee, right? So these lands of captivity where we are, we're following the dictates of our oppressors. And our oppressors are telling us to not rule our house well, to not have our house in order, right? To try to be a little more listening, try to be a little more caring. Don't be so hard on the kids, right? That's where we've come. Let's continue. He says, they which lead thee have caused thee to err and destroy the way of the path, right? Yah standeth up to plead, and that's the word shafat, right? Okay, I'm wrong. Did I hit the wrong one? Wait a minute, hold on a second. Let me make sure I'm right the right place. To plead, that's 7378. Okay, so it is to rube, or to grapple, to toss, to grapple, to hold a controversy. Okay, there we go. That's good. That's actually a good word. Controversy, right? So he says that Yah will enter into a controversy with the ancients of his people and the princes thereof, for you have eaten up the vineyard. You have eaten up the vineyard, the spoil of poor in your house, right? He says, what mean you that you beat my people to pieces, right? And grind the faces of the poor, says Yah of hosts. Then he goes further and says, moreover, Yah said, because the daughters of Zion, this word for daughters is what? Let's look it up real quick, okay? The daughters, bat, right? Every female is a daughter, okay? The daughters of Zion are haughty, okay? And walk with stretched forth necks, right? So the daughters are haughty, which means that they are lofty, right? To be exalted, right? Hey, a good word that fits right there is bourgeois or bougie, right? I'm better than, okay, all right? Now, bougie can be good, but bougie can be bad if it's out of control. Okay, let's go. So they're haughty and they walk with stretched forth. That word stretched forth is natah. Stretched to spread out by to bend away, using the great variety of applications, right? Okay. So to spread out, to stretch out over, stretch out, aside, away. Okay. So interestingly enough, that's the same thing that the Most High said in Genesis 3. Wife desire would be to her husband. That's part of a fulfillment. So when you find yourself not wanting to follow the lead of your husband, which in turn forces you to become a single parent or a single woman or single female for the context of the Hebrew. It's because of the unwillingness to submit, right? You can save your husband if you submit, even if he's wicked, right? You can save that husband, right? You can win him. Okay, but let's get back in here. All right. So it says that with stretched out necks, and it says, where was I at here? Stretched forth necks and wanting eyes. So the wanting, let's look at the necks real quick, see what the next says. Next says the throat as rough by swallowing. Okay. You can actually kind of reference that to talking too much, being talkative and not being listening. But we'll go further with that. Okay. That's another lesson. We can break that down and prove that to you, that talking too much is actually hindering and hurting the families. Okay. Wanting eyes, walking, mincing, and going and making with wanting necks. I mean, with stressed out necks and wanting eyes. The wanting is ogle, to blink, right? Wanting eyes, to blink. Okay. So when a woman puts on them little long eyelashes, that's kind of like the context of what I can perceive that this is actually saying, right? Like the wanting eyes, right? Winking eyes, right? Okay, let's continue.